So you're thinking about moving to Boulder, Colorado, but you really don't know anything about it. Well, today we're going to share 5 pros and 5 cons about the beautiful city of Boulder, Colorado, and we're going to get into it right now. So if this is your first time to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button below so that you're the first to know everything about Denver, Colorado and what it's like to live here.
All right, so I'm Robin Gerlach with my partner Reed Puser of the Roots Home Sales team. We get calls and emails every day from folks like yourself moving here to the Denver metro area or Boulder, Colorado, and we absolutely love it. So just please reach out to us, send us an email, you can text us, you can call us. We leave all of our information here below the video. We look forward to connecting with you and helping you make a smooth move to the Denver Boulder metro area. So as I was mentioning, or Reed was mentioning actually before here in the video, we're gonna talk today about the 5 pros and the 5 cons of living in Boulder, Colorado. So let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. We're gonna start with our first pro of living in Boulder, Colorado, and that has got to be the location. It is the ideal location in the Front Range. And when I mention the Front Range, we're talking essentially along the mountain chain here in Colorado. When you get to the Rocky Mountains, you really notice that the mountains start right here on the Front Range where Denver and Boulder are. And so Boulder is tucked right in at the foothills. It's right at the foot of the mountains. You have access to hiking trails, things like that. So the location of Boulder is really one of the most ideal locations in Colorado. So that's going to be the first pro of living in Boulder, Colorado.
So the number 2 pro of living in Boulder is an easy one for me. It's the restaurants. There are actually 9 different restaurants that are recognized Michelin-star winners in Boulder. Included in those is Frasca Food and Wine, as well as Blackbelly Market. Blackbelly Market is really cool because they actually have a lunch option and a lunch side of the restaurant where you can order like really amazing subs and sandwiches. And then at dinner time, they have the more formal seating, and it's just an amazing place for a date night. So make sure you check out both of those when you're here in Boulder.
All right, and the number 3 pro of living in Boulder, Colorado is that it has a very small town feel. So even though it is a city, it has all the amenities, great dining, restaurants, everything that you can imagine that a big city would have, but you have that in a very small community or a small town feel. So it might feel like you are in a town of 20 to 30,000 people. The population is actually 100,000 people, but it feels like a much smaller town. There's a couple main thoroughfares and Pearl Street that really has all of the activity in the city.
All right, so the number 4 pro of living in Boulder, Colorado has to be Coach Prime. If you've been living under a rock, you may not have noticed the hysteria sweeping the sports world with Deion Sanders, aka Prime Time, taking over the head coaching job here at CU in Boulder. Well, here in Boulder, there's nothing better than an awesome game day, whether it's the celebrities attending pregame, the chanting, the tailgating, and obviously when Ralphie, the Buffalo, runs on the field. It's just an all-around great experience and something that's so unique to Boulder, Colorado.
All right, and the 5th pro that we have for living in Boulder, Colorado is what else but the access to the hiking trails and outdoor, the nature. I mean, when you look at Boulder, kind of what you picture, what you see next to Boulder is the Flatirons. And that's the beautiful mountains and the rock shapes, basically to the south of Boulder. But you have some great trails there on Chautauqua Park. You can go a little bit further south and you have El Dorado Springs and El Dorado Canyon, which is a state park. You need to reserve in advance to get there, but it's some of the most beautiful hiking trails in the state of Colorado. And so it's really that access, and it's quick access. We're talking you hop in your car and you drive 10 to 15 minutes and you are at the trailhead. So that is really what draws people to Boulder, Colorado, outdoor enthusiasts, and the access to the mountain biking trails. If you're a mountain biker like we are, hit us up because we can give you some good tips on where to go mountain biking outside of Boulder. So yeah, that would be the 5th pro for living in Boulder, Colorado. All right, and the first con of living in Boulder, Colorado is, well, It's expensive. I mean, you think when you hear real estate, you hear location, location, location. And as I just mentioned in the first pro, it is an ideal location, and being that way, it is very expensive. It's also, they have restrictions on building new buildings. So Boulder is very restricted in the supply of homes for sale, and that contributes to this rising in prices of homes. The average home in Boulder, Colorado is $988,000, just shy of $1 million. And that's actually down 6% from last year. We're shooting this here in October of 2023. So in 2022, it was over $1 million. So that just goes to show that it is not very affordable to live in Boulder, Colorado.
All right, so the number 2 con of living in Boulder is something that you might end up hearing from other people when you're around here, and that is that Boulder is its own place. You could call it the Republic of Boulder, sometimes people say. And with that, they have some really strange laws, and these laws are actually very strange, but they're particular to the city of Boulder. One of those laws is you can't stack boulders around Boulder. What's that about? Literally, they have a law against moving, rolling, or stacking any kind of rocks or boulders on public property. The reason for that is because people like to stack rock cairns, right? And make it like a real nice tall stack. Apparently at some point people didn't like that. Maybe somebody got hurt. So some strange laws in Boulder, and you cannot roll or stack boulders in Boulder.
All right, and the third con of living in Boulder, Colorado is the amount of tourism coming in and congesting that small town feel that we talked about in the third pro. You got a lot of folks visiting, mainly because it's a college town, but also because it's one of the most beautiful cities in Colorado. So it attracts people from all likes. A lot of folks want to come here, send their kid to college, and with that brings a lot of traffic. Boulder isn't really built for a lot of car traffic. It's very compact. So just getting from maybe the south edge of Boulder to the north edge of Boulder, where it's only a 5-6 mile stretch, that might actually take you 20 to 25 minutes because of the amount of congestion that's in Boulder. So that tourism traffic really is probably one of the cons of living in Boulder, Colorado.
All right, and the fourth con to living in Boulder is it's a college town. So that also means that there's a lot of college kids around, especially during the school season. You're gonna see just more people at the restaurants, more people on the roads, more people on the hiking trails. A lot of Boulder residents really love it when school is out of session, because then they go and do all the things that they like to do without anybody else in line with them.
All right, and the fifth con of living in Boulder, Colorado, as I mentioned in con number 3 with that congestion and traffic, Boulder is not really built for larger vehicles. They're very environmentally focused, and you know, the city is built that way. There's bike trails everywhere. But what that has created is kind of a landscape inside of the city where it's really hard to maybe bring your big truck. You know, if you drive a Ford F-150, it's tough to find parking down in the city center. It's really kind of created for compact vehicles and bicycles. So that makes it tough if you are coming to Boulder with a larger vehicle.
So we hope that this was an interesting video for you and also an informational video for you. We get calls from people like you every day looking to relocate here to Boulder or Denver, Colorado, and we love it. So please don't hesitate to shoot us an email, give us a call, shoot us a text, or whatever your favorite way to communicate it is. We'll be looking forward to helping you make a smooth move to Boulder.